1, 2, 1, 2. Peace, everybody. Hopefully people will be checking the issue. Happy Wednesday. What up, what up, what up, what up? Peace, peace. Waiting for my man Felton to get in here. 2 people in neck. What's up? Hope y'all good. Hope y'all safe out there. Tell some people to check in. This is Who's On Live. I got my friend Felton Brown pulling up soon. We're going to chop it up about some things. He's a senior creative at Dreamville Records and just a dope guy out of Brooklyn. Real cool cat. So we're going to chop it up about some things, about things that have been going on during this pandemic, what he does. I'm using this platform to just showcase some of my friends, man, some of my talented friends that, you know, might spend a lot of time behind the, behind the scenes. So I figured I use this platform to put them to the forefront. Shout out to everybody checking in right now. Hopefully y'all doing well. Y'all doing good. Felt to being here momentarily. Peace. I'm just saying what up to everybody. What up, Kima? What up, Tressa? Kiwi, what up? Hope y'all doing great. Yeah, so we just gonna have a real quick conversation, man. I ain't really chopped it up with my guy in a minute, and he's been very instrumental in a lot of things Dreamville oriented and just certain things in general that y'all might not know about. So like I said before, I'm trying to use this platform to just tell let my homies tell what they do to different people and it might be actually useful and helpful to some people trying to break into whatever industry they're in. He's in entertainment and he's a senior creative. So he's definitely been a part of a lot of the campaigns and a lot of the runs that Dreamville's had over the past couple of years. Man, damn near probably a long time. But waiting for him to tune in so we can get him on here and get to talking to y'all. How y'all feeling today out there? Is everybody safe? Miss Russell, what's going on? T-Dot, what up, what up? Tell y'all friends to pull up in here. Let some people know. We're going to be on for about an hour. Where is Felton? I don't know if y'all saw, but I dropped a video today, so make sure y'all go check that out. It's called Buzzing. Link is in my bio. Still out here putting out music. Quarantine has definitely sparked the creative bug, and I've been doing a lot of online DJing, SFB mix show. Make sure y'all check that out. Waiting for, let me see. Hopefully I ain't on my Teddy Riley and can't see him, man. Ain't a lot of people. But yeah, go check that out. I dropped a video today called Buzzing. It's produced by my homeboy Finian. Appreciate that. I shot the video in the crib, you know what I mean? Since we're in a pandemic, I had to be self-sufficient and shoot it and edit it myself. The beat is produced by my homeboy Finian. But Finian is actually Sean Dawn, if you familiar with the group Little Brother, familiar with their squad Justice League. He is Sean Dawn that rapped on the Little Brother albums. He's a dope MC and a dope producer, so go check him out as well. I might have to make a phone call. What up, what up? Fabby, what up? Tubbs, what up, homie? So still waiting for Finnegan. Thanks, Kima. I appreciate that. I'm working on some other music, so y'all be on the lookout for that. Salute DJ Silver Knight checking in. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna keep repeating it. I'm just trying to give this platform, this Who's On Live. I know whenever you wake up in the morning, you look at your phone and you always think of Who's On Live. So I'm just really trying to get this opportunity for us to really be like talking about something when y'all checking into these lives. So that's what we're gonna do whenever Felton gets in here. We're gonna have him discuss what he does, why he does it, and just how he been doing throughout this pandemic. How y'all feeling? Silver Knight, shout out DJ Silver Knight in here. Make sure you check out DJ Silver Knight, super dope DJ, and he has a lot of dope shit going on. Make sure you check out Kiwi. We had her on the open bar mix, which will be tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. 7 o'clock. Follow Kiwi. Follow Tressa. Senior Cinco in here. Where the hell is Felton? Here we go. He's here. Let's get it.
Yo, let me tell you how I'm an idiot, right? Because I went on live too, because I watch live, but I was like, oh, we both live, and then one of us requests each other. I don't know how this should work.
Hey man, it's all good, man. We both had a Teddy Riley moment just now.
Damn, fuck, man. I was trying not to, man. I got my lights on all nice in here.
Hey man, it's all good. It's all good. Well, listen. So, like I was speaking to you earlier, but I was telling people before you came in here, is that this Who's On Live thing is just basically a way for me to connect with my friends. Since all this shit been going on, it kind of gave us a reset button and been able to sit our asses down and just, give us the opportunity to chop it up about some stuff. And really, I just wanted to give a platform to people that might not know you and the stuff that I see you do and see you work hard on, to just know what you do, man. And possibly if they are looking to be in the same vein, the same realm as you, just kind of get some insight without it being too super structured. Because, a lot of times when people structure it too much like it's class, it go over everybody's head. So I just figured a conversation between homies would be a little bit easier to digest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we talk shit like this all the time. Might as well invite people in for perspective, I guess.
True indeed. True indeed. So first and foremost, man, I want you to let people know where you're from and really how's everything been going for you since all of this stuff has been happening?
I'm from Brooklyn, New York, New York City. Ground zero of so far the worst impact of COVID in the country.
Word.
Yeah, I'm from Brooklyn, born and raised. And right now it's been okay for me, man. I'll say I'm blessed. Like, I'm thankful no one in my family or like close friends that proximity, like I know is like having anything really crazy right now.
Yeah. So
right now it's just, just trying to keep my head above water and just like, focus. I feel like this is for people like, like you and me, yeah, and like other people that we work in the industry with, we're always moving. We're always worried about the next thing. We never get time. We always say, we go take a vacation or we're going to start that side thing that we want to work on.
Yeah.
Right now, it's like literally the whole country, the whole world is on like this kind of like a pause,
Yeah, it's a big pause. Yeah.
And I think it's funny. I was talking to my man Christo, Spillage Village, earlier, and that's what we said is like, this is like, like a good place for us to all kind of pause and like really take this time. Like, if you want to like rest, if you want to try something new, if you want to go more internal into like, deeper thought or like, just centering yourself, physically getting yourself better.
Yeah.
Now's the time,
Definitely. It's definitely been a reset button for me, but it also been like, and I don't know, you can kind of chime in on this as well, but it made me realize like, I don't even know how I was getting stuff done before. Because, it's like you said, we run and gun so much. It's like this sit down had me realizing even with the hours in the day that it still ain't enough. And I'm in the crib most of the time. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, yo, bro, I really don't think there's enough hours. Like time isn't linear and we're learning it more and more every day. Like literally, bro, I feel like I've been saying this to everybody. It's like, I feel like it's Friday every 3 days, like straight up.
Right.
Like literally. And people like you and I know you're always on the road. You're always at, you're always like touring and playing different cities all over. And, we're always moving in one capacity or another trying, we have a pretty big roster. So it's like, I'm pretty thankful for this time, man. Like in the sense of that, you know what I'm saying? Where like literally my days, we wake up, we're still working on stuff, trying to figure things out. But it's like, it's almost like things are in like a weird pause.
Yeah.
So with that, it's like the race to get to the finish line isn't like going on right now. Right now, you could just say we're all in the dojo.
Yeah, we trying.
You could
trying things. Kind of like it's like I consider it like the litmus test stage. You know what I'm saying? Like there's not necessarily a definitive end. You know what I mean? It's just like we can keep kind of piecemealing at it until it becomes a thing. You know what I mean? Like you don't have. I feel like we're not in a place where deadlines really even make sense anymore. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yo, literally, there's a global crisis. Like right now,
Right, right.
no matter how you look at it, they haven't figured it out yet. We're not in a place
That's
where they're
big
talking
facts.
about a vaccine is on the way.
Yeah.
Like those conversations aren't happening. Like things are still spiking. Then like you keep hearing these new spikes because we haven't really gotten down to people like really getting that self-discipline
Yeah,
in a way to help.
self-discipline on top of the fact that a lot of people don't even really know how to get tested and don't even, and a lot of the testing is, it's fine. Like I say this, I live literally half a mile from the CDC. I could walk there. You
Oh
know what
man,
I'm saying? And I have not seen any testing area and nothing
by
up
the
and
CDC.
down by the CDC. Like I just rode past the CDC less than 30 minutes ago. So, you know what I mean? But to that point, it's just like, back to the whole things being where they at and it's kind of being like a pause. Like just I want you to let the people know, like, what do you do? You know what I'm saying? Like what is I know you're a senior creative, but what does that entail
I
for
mean,
Dreamville?
all right, background, I'm a graphic designer by trade. I went to school for graphic design and art direction. And basically, literally, my whole background is graphic design. So whatever you could think of in the media aspect of like print, digital, like I help come up with art or visual messaging to be plastered everywhere for people to consume some kind of message, product, or things of that nature. So that's literally my background. Now, the reason why it's more like a senior creative, because like we're a pretty small company, so
Yeah.
we touch a lot of different things. So it's really multidisciplinary, just to kind of figure out, like, I do a lot of things where sometimes I might not be doing the physical art. Like I'm always looking to create with other creatives, so like we collab all the time. So sometimes I'm doing creative direction or we're looking for, the next dope graphic designer to kind of like take something that we're thinking about and bring it to life. So that's
True.
kind of like where that title comes from.
So one of the things that I actually feel like I saw you, be a part of was with the last the Revenge of the Dreamers project, and so the invitations to like the sessions, is that something that you came up with by yourself?
Nah, I didn't come up with it by myself. That was Colin. Colin was like, they're like, we should mail these out. First, it was like a long. Honestly, we tried to figure it out so many ways, but like literally doing it digital made the most sense.
Yeah.
Because like mailing them out and doing like Easter eggs and like the golden ticket kind of thing.
Yeah.
Bringing it into the digital space gave it more life for all of us, and it was able to like on the fly, like literally the way how you would start seeing like invitations pop up. It was like, damn, word, so and so's in town, or shit, so and so is in LA, and they're like they want to pull up, and we're like, all right, fuck it. So we made one. You know what I'm saying? If we had to do it through U.S. Postal Service, no disrespect, like this thing would have not been
that shit wouldn't have
the thing that we needed it to be. So it was more like, Eve and Cole were like, we want, how are we gonna get it out there? And it was like, we need to come with an invitation. So I was like, so we started looking up like different things to kind of like do it, but like it was like the jargon of like how like formal invitations back in the day would be like in the year of our Lord in the 1900 or something, like that's how they would send it out for dinner back in the day. So it was like we kind of wanted to
with the seal on the back.
Verbiage it that way in a little bit, and then like start thinking about colors and like what colors mean, and like coming up with the logo and the symbol. And I always remember like in Star Wars, even though I'm a Trekkie, we could talk about Star Wars, but in Star Wars, that message coming down that way like that was always like such a dope thing. I always thought since I was a kid, and I was like, all right, fuck it, we need to do something where the symbol feels like really powerful. So I came up with like a really rough version of the symbol at one point, which was just like it was like a black and white GIF that flashed from black and white to white and black inverted. And I was like, I don't know, this kind of feels like something.
Yeah.
And I sent it to Cole. Cole thought it was dope. He thought it was dope. Adam thought it was dope. And then from there, we brought it back, made an invitation. We was like, we need a really nice, powerful color. So, Cole really likes like at times like really nice, loud colors and bright colors. Okay. So he was like, let's go yellow, kind of like was just a really beautiful, like bright kind of thing. So that's how we came to that. And then like going through rounds and rounds of how the invitation looked. And finally we had the first couple of invitations that were internal. Then it was kind of like everybody in the camp, like everybody, not just the artists, like everybody in the camp started like coming up with like, yo, this person should be there, that person should be there. And it was like me churning out on a laptop, like,
yeah, I saw that.
hundreds of invitations, like literally hundreds. Like,
yeah.
like literally it's like, yo, people be like, yo, I got like 30 more names. You can make these up, whip them up, and then we send them back. And then, but it was like we made animated versions and we made regular JPEG versions. It was a lot, man. We did all of that while we were on the road in Atlanta. We had just came off our company retreat.
Okay.
And a few days before that, we were in Vegas, like partying our minds away. So like it's like catching up.
And then because you was out here for how long?
We was out here for like almost 2 weeks. We was in the air for like nearly 2 weeks.
Because I remember the day that I came up to the studio and met up with y'all, man. It was like, you know, it's just, I don't think people really understand like that work don't stop. You know what I mean? I think they kind of think like, oh, he just does some flyers and he helps out like, you know, I don't think you sat down one time and you was on the laptop for like an hour, you know?
Bro, and then we're coordinating a documentary at the same time.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm working with Scott and David they're running like a team and they're shooting a whole documentary at the same time because, you know, internally we make our own docs and we make our own content all the time. So it's like, there's all these moving pieces while the artists are making music. Like all the music was made then, you know, nothing was like reference. Like, like I feel like in, like, you know, when you walk through like the music museums, like down in Nashville, and you walk through the museum in DC, African American Museum, it's like, this thing is gonna mean more the more time passed, because it still feels like hella fresh. Yeah. But like it was like a moment in time that just like, even when I watch a doc now, I'm just like, damn, this shit is over.
Right. And you're right. I agree with that too. And one thing I know about this space is like we was talking before we got on here about like, you know, just the way this digital thing is moving. I think the visibility for everybody ain't the same like it would have been back in the day where it was like everything was funneled into a space and you had to go to a specific place to get a specific thing. Now it's like, oh, like even now I'll click on a YouTube video or something, or even watching a documentary, and then the next video is something that I never thought I needed to watch, but it's old, and now I'm like, I'm getting caught up on it. So yeah, man, it just kind of gets better with time, you know what I mean? Especially that doc, you know what I mean?
Ah, man, yeah, man. Thank you, man. The whole team, like, it's so crazy, like what Revenge means now more so than when we first started doing Revenge. Like and I guess, you know, it's a 10,000 hour, like, you know, as they're setting outliers. It's like Revenge has been around. This is the third one, you know what I'm saying? And this was the one that kind of like just exploded into something else. But, you know, it was just perfect timing. It was perfect timing. Like, it's so many different creatives were in Tree Sounds for like 10 days.
Man, that shit was insane. Like, even
just
that day alone, I think when I first walked in, it was Khaled, then Swizz came around the corner, then it was Smino, and shout out to Guap Dad, the homie Guap Dad, and then, you know, but like from a person, an outside perspective, just to kind of give you this, because I don't, like, I know when you got with Cole, but like, when did you become like, I guess integrated into what he had going on?
So, well, I've been working with Cole and what Dreamville was, cause like for like a quite some time. Like even I used to work in advertising, and when I worked in advertising, even before I got into advertising, I think one of the first things I did for Cole was like, you know, like I did some single art, like Vilmatic and The Cure and that stuff. But that was like, I think right when I got into advertising, and then I was in advertising for like 9 years. Okay. And during that time, I worked on a bunch of projects for Cole through Dreamville, like a bunch of, whether it was like Dollar in the Dream stuff, Friday Night Lights, just a bunch of different visual art things he needed. And then like 3 years ago, 2-3 years ago, I left advertising to be full-time at Dreamville. So I've been there from, like, you know, when Cole was in Alito record studios, Mark Ronson and them recording the warm up.
So I got a little quick story. I got a homeboy. He's a photographer, like well known around Atlanta. His name is Hannibal Matthews, right? So Hannibal was like big on. He was part of a party that Fadia used to do called Broken Bougie, right? And I know you know about Fadia. So yeah, like Hannibal's photos kind of captured our scene, and like elevated people to like a, you know, kind of like a stardom damn near around there. But the first time I ever heard of Cole was when Hannibal's friends, BB Gun, had shot
Oh, yeah.
Cole's videos. And we had the link to Cole's videos before anybody seen them shits at all. You know what I mean?
It's
So I was
funny.
like,
I rode my bike on Sunday past the street near Canal
yeah,
where he shot Simba.
right, yeah. So I seen that one, but you know, I was saying like as somebody outside looking in to kind of see the trajectory of all of it, and even more so now, my point to tie back in with the Revenge of the Dreamers is like seeing the homies like Johnny Venus and them, you know what I'm saying, Earth Gang basically, and Jid and all of them coming from here to where they was at. Like, you know, I had Earth Gang perform on one of my shows a while ago, and I've seen them dudes. Like, I got a CD in here with they written in marker Earth Gang on it that they gave me at A3C like almost like 6-7 years ago. You know what I'm
That
saying?
boxed up, man.
No, for sure. You know, they, you know, and it's just dope to see that culmination of all of that. Just kind of like what you were saying, watching the documentary. As a person outside looking in, like, do you, I mean, as a person that's in the middle of it, you know, sometimes when you're in the eye of the storm, it don't seem like all of this is going on. Has that ever like really hit you yet? Like, yo, we've done this.
It's still trippy, man. Like, I was literally in the store last night getting food because I just ain't feel like cooking. Yeah. And literally they were playing Forbidden Fruit, like just DJing. And I was just like, and I ended up posting it because it's just like, I remember the beginning, some of the early like spots where it was like Le Poison Rouge back in the day when Cole was like performing, like, yo, my name J. Cole. Like, you know, I'm like, he was like new, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
it was like a showcase thing to like, now, like, I'll be like chilling somewhere and a car's driving by and I hear his music. You know what I'm saying? It's a really like dope thing to like, to see like how something could go from like even from a selfish standpoint, like I remember like the ill thing used to be like,
oh no,
something.
Come
and
on.
Then I'll go to Google.
Internet let them be great. There we go. Yeah. The internet wasn't letting you be great.
All right. Now I'm saying like even from a selfish standpoint, it would be like we need to work on something really quick, and then we'll design it, hit the deadline, push it out within like 20 minutes. Go on Google Images, and I see like so many reposts of something that I created, like hit the world like in like that. Like I remember when Friday Night Lights dropped, and I went to my barber, and I was like, yo, it's out, and like by the end of the weekend, it was just like everywhere. And it was just like, damn, just to see that. And now it's crazy. It's global now, you know, it's like, it's in a whole different conversation, you know, it's crazy.
True, man. So with all of that too, is I know you said you worked on Dollar and the Dream. So I want to kind of tie it back into the whole creative thing, and then the way you know, form things to get out to people and grab people's attention. Like what brought on that? Like outside of this, you know, you pay $1, like you had to grab them kind of visually first. I feel like, you know, out after the music. So
what I think with Don and Jim, I think that was already momentum from like just cold musicianship. I think from a visual aspect, you know, from a branding aspect, the Dreamville logo is more like it's something else now. Like it's like, I remember I saw someone one day putting up like all the hip hop logos, like, you know, your No Limit, the No Limit symbol, the Bad Boy symbol, the Death Row logo. Yeah. And now, like, when people see that, like, people wear those shirts. Like, those shirts are like something. They're everywhere. Like, I like shout out to Kenya Barris and them. It was in the intro to the new season of Grownish. Like,
I saw
that had on his shirt, and I was like, damn, just, you know, one thing you learn in like graphic design and advertising is like having a symbol like that is like super important. You know, McDonald's doesn't change the arches, you know what I'm saying? Like Starbucks has a new logo, but it didn't really deviate from the original logo. It's like the colors and certain things might have been sort of modernized, but it's like things of that nature.
The shape is still the same.
Yeah, so as well. I think with Dollar and a Dream, that's just like, you know, everybody has that messaging is really what is the symbol in that thing. Cause like people know having a dollar in a dream, like, you know, dreams of like, you know, going from rags to riches, and you know, even like just dollar in a dream from like when people play the lotto, things of that nature, like how this one thing could take you from like this to that, you know. I think that in itself is like a symbol, the messaging of that, you know.
True. So fast forward to Revenge of the Dreamers. I know you were saying briefly about, and the reason why I'm asking, because, you know, I'm a graphic designer as well, man. And I think like this conversation, a lot of people don't get when they're trying to build, you know, I hate saying build a brand, but it's the truth. It's like, you know, you got to have consistency. And I feel like that logo was very consistent, and the way you weaved your creativity and the other things that you have done for the brand makes the most sense. You know what I mean? Like I have a conversation every day with somebody about, well, I want my logo to look like this, or I want my stuff to look like this, and it'll be all over the damn place. And one thing I pride myself on is just like, even with the flyers I post, like just building a consistency. Like how much would you say that is like something that you kind of stand on when you're doing that type of stuff?
I mean, you have to train people's eye to like look to a certain thing. It depends on how your messaging reads, all that stuff, even down to your colors. Like when we did Revenge, you know, we started with the invitations, right? We started with invitations. You had that bright yellow inverted with black. The symbol was in black, right? But when we put the album out, if you look on DSPs, you see the vinyl, and then the parental advisory was inverted, and it was in the yellow from the invitations.
Yeah.
Even though it's such a like really small thing, it's all about tying it back. You know what I'm saying? Down to the fonts we use and the colors we use throughout the documentary. You have the yellow throughout there in the rolling credits that David put together. Like that is the breadcrumbs in the trail that guides someone's eye. Because even if they didn't know, they'd be able to, like, if you look at the suite of things, you'll start being able to see like, oh, this is related to that because it's so
familiarity.
And people don't do that a lot. Well, let me not say that. People do that a lot, but I do see a misstep a lot of times where people don't do that. They want to try everything, right?
It's not calculated. You know, I think to your point, I think a lot of over accessibility with just the way things are. Everybody thinks they can try everything and everything is going to work for them, or like it worked for the first person before them, as opposed to just kind of sticking with what they have and elaborate on it. Like you said, like the breadcrumbs and whatnot. Like now, me personally watching it, I saw all of that. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I look for, stuff like just the consistency of how it looked from the cover, from the invitation to the documentary. You know what I'm saying? Like it's still a whole package. I think a lot of people dropping stuff, they get lost in that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my homie El President here. He does a thing called Payday LA, and like their consistency of their content since this quarantine has been like just on point. You know, and I go watch other homies' content, and I'm just like, yo, like you could have did so much. It's so little. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think and you're right. You don't really have to do much to make it all look the same. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing that I think a lot of times is, I mean, if you're a huge artist, you could try whatever the fuck you want because you already have the audience. So you could like make it look this way and then jump and go do it this way because you're already big. I'd say if you're starting out, simple. Find you a typeface that you really like. One that's like a really simple one, like a sans serif, a really nice sans serif, and then maybe like as a sub.
That's a font, y'all. That's a font, y'all. That's a font.
Yes, a font, and find like one that's a decent body copy. Then figure out on a color aspect, like what's going to be your color scheme, and then like after that, like, and then take the clutter away. If there's no clutter, even if it's not really like the best design, if you have a color, a nice main font and a sub font, after that, when you look through someone's page, it'll always be consistent. The thing is, people want to try everything, right? Like if you're shooting something, make sure there's nothing in your fucking background, blank background. You know what I'm saying? Or a solid color background. You know what I'm saying? Do that. Like I feel like a lot of times people want to try everything. The only people that can try everything are the people who are fucking lit. Like the people who are lit, they already have the huge audience, so you know their audience is already baked in. So those people will be along for the journey to let you try a bunch of shit. They don't care if you do a film noir, a silent fucking movie, an animated thing. Stop it.
Right. They gonna talk shit, but they gonna still stay. You know what I mean? You know, it's funny. I equate that to back. I mean, I think it still goes on with music though. But like, you know, with radio, with like music, records playing, the escalation, right? I know you're familiar with that. Like when record gets into escalation, that's a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? That means that the people that's listening to the radio don't want to hear the shit no more. You know what I mean? For real. So it's kind of like, even though they big, you still gotta have some type of. I guess they can. I mean, to your point, they can do whatever the hell they want, but you gotta reel them back in. You know what I mean? So prime example, like with a Cole, like even at his stature, like he can't just throw out anything, and that's why I feel like. And this is just me talking, but you can say yeah or nay. I feel like that's why y'all a little bit more tedious as opposed as opposed to other people that's just randomly throwing out shit. You know what I'm saying?
No, it comes from the top down. Cole is very calculated. He waits. Bro, bro just waits. Like he's not rushing to like put something out. He's very meticulous in like taking his time with trying to put together a body of music. But then outside of body of music, the conversations as to like what does creative look like, that's already happening. You know,
yeah.
I know we got the nonsense. We're gonna have the questions in the bottom, like when's things dropping. It doesn't.
Oh, yeah. I've been trying to glance over.
No,
man.
It's fine. But it's like one thing you know is the music is being worked on, and also his vision is like what is it gonna look like? I can tell you there's so many things that we've made that hasn't been even
never coming out
shown to the world. I mean, you never know, like down the line, like when things are revisited, anniversaries, and when things become historic enough, it's like there's a space for that. You know, like we watch documentaries all the time, you and I, like music documentaries and things that is probably being
Dave said drop the music.
Nah, y'all gonna have to wait till when he say push the button, that's when it's gonna happen. Shit, not even say, like everybody working. Spillage Village is working, Jid is working, all of them. When they push their button, that's when it's gonna go. Like that's one thing I love about Dreamville. It's like, it's the artists are really like, they're really, I don't know, man. They really love they really love their music. I know that sounds cheesy as fuck, but like they really care about their music in a way that I feel like.
Nah, that's some real shit.
I feel like they're putting it out for themselves really more so than anybody. Like I feel like they're putting it out.
I feel like we get away from that a lot. Being an artist as well. I realized that a lot of people that put out stuff, we got so with the internet being so big at a certain point in time for artists, like when the blog era really hit, I feel like a lot of people got away from making music for themselves, except for like a Cole, like a Cudi, like them type of artists that were like really, working off of the internet, kind of pushing them along to their fans. I feel like some other people just kind of gravitated towards, I feel like this is going to work. Let me just hurry up and push this out, and not really giving a fuck about what the hell they was making. You know what I mean? You can tell. Yeah. Like, I mean, if somebody take that much time and is that, meticulous with putting out stuff, it's just, it comes across better. And then you have a fan base that ain't going nowhere.
But you think about that blog era. You remember the dudes that you remember and I remember from that time that actually still in the mix, they still working, are the dudes that actually kind of like, they kind of was in the dojo with their fan base. Like you said Cudi,
right?
You said Cole, you said it's Kendrick. You think about Crit, you think about Drake. Crit. All them dudes around that time, they were putting out albums. They were giving away albums, like literally albums. All them dudes giving away albums, which was like, that was the beginning of like putting out, I'm gonna just give away a full body of work. I'm not gonna rap on somebody else's shit. I'm gonna give away something that I literally made. And then that's what started happening. And then dudes started like really like churning. Like, bro, if you like, I remember seeing like I remember the night, like I said, when FNL dropped. I went when Warm Up dropped, when Crit Was Here dropped, Return of Forever dropped.
I was around when Crit was here. Yeah.
When all these things dropped, it was literally like they were putting out their albums, dog. Like,
no, that's a fact.
Even though their audience wasn't as big, it was literally like their fan base was like, we waiting for this. Yeah, this is what we were waiting for. We know all this other shit is going on in commercial world that's selling 1 million copies.
Yeah.
But this is where it's at, and this is what's next. And I think because of that, you look at somebody like Cudi doesn't even come out often, but because he did that work, like literally every time he dropped, they right back at it.
Yeah.
They right back at it.
Currency as well.
Yeah, my bad. Shout out to Currency. Absolutely.
Yeah. Shout out to the homies. Yeah,
I love
man.
seeing like I got to shout out also like seeing Freddie Gibbs have his time right now. It's
Man,
probably
listen.
one of my most favorite things too because I like all of that was from that era. Like there's
Listen,
you know
I
that
met Gibbs. I met Gibbs in 2008, 2009 on Twitter, and we just got cool. And I sent him a record to get on. He sent it right back, and just like from that time to like see where he's at now, you know what I'm saying? Like he and it was crazy is to be a person that was kind of damn near blackballed in the industry.
and still
Like that is definitely a real testament of like, yo, fuck that shit. Your fans is what's holding you over. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
want
And
to
think
pull you
about
through.
even without like you said like even like the like him probably being blackballed and all that isn't like no radio, probably not getting the all the media coverage. But
Right.
look, when he came to fucking Highline Ballroom,
Crazy.
sold out. Me and my man Drew there, and he's he's doing Robbie and nigga acapella. And Robbie and nigga came out years ago, but
right.
dudes, that was like years after it dropped. But it's like, yo, bro, the music is what's carrying it through. And I feel like a lot of times, like right now, I feel like we're kind of like back in a, like me personally, I could be, people might have a different opinion. I feel like a lot of artists now are like back to like they're copying. They're not really like making their own shit just for themselves. Because one thing I love about that blog era was literally everybody was making their own. They were trying to make their own sounds because they felt like, like the music industry for the most part on the radio was kind of like copying each other. And then the young dudes that were coming up were like, well, we're not even getting no looks, so we go just make what we want. And it's like, that's when, people started like calling themselves by their own real names. Like that was like a thing. J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Drake, you know what I'm saying? Like dudes was like, I'm this person, I'm not this thing. And then they were like, let me make my own sound. Let me make my own this. Let me try my own shit. Because nobody's paying attention anyway. I might as well make my own shit. But now it seems like
it was, and being down here in Atlanta, it's damn near I've been here for the last 16 years. So, seeing what was popular and like coming out at that time, wow, artists like myself, Gibbs, El Prez out in LA, a bunch of us, doing shows we were all doing shows around, with each other, and just kind of, we couldn't, if you couldn't compete with that, you had to go this way, what I'm saying? But I also, it's like back in the day though, you know what I mean? Like back in the day, nobody sounded alike, you know what I mean? So like, I remember I was having an argument, this sound like some name dropping ass shit, but I had an argument with Mace one day about like music and about like a Jay-Z album and shit. And then he was like, yeah, well, everybody sound. I said, the only thing I agree with you is, he was like, everybody sounded like, no, he's like, yo, G-Rap didn't sound like Busta. Busta didn't sound like him. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that blog era shit is everything you just said. Nobody was, and they just fit in such a pocket, and to the point of what you were saying before about the documentary, how like things grow and get seasoned, and then it's like, oh, now we here. I think that's what happened with a lot of them too. You know what I'm saying? It's like they put in that work, because after a while, that cookie cutter shit, let me copy this artist, sound like this artist, let me be this, that shit gonna get pushed to the side, and then I ain't even gonna say the real. I'm just gonna say the good music, the good stuff is gonna stay around and rise to the top. You know what I'm saying?
I think if there's any time to be yourself, it's probably right now, especially with everything that's going on.
Yeah.
As long as you package your shit right, and your shit, your shit got to be good, of course.
Yeah.
Because like everybody thinks their shit is good, which is fair. If you're supposed to love your own shit, like right. I always tell people, your dream got to be your dream. It's only your dream. It ain't nobody else's dream. So you can't worry about what other people, like when you're on that road, like churning your idea, if somebody's not supporting you, like you shouldn't even give a fuck. Like you should be literally in love with where your passion is, right? So like now is the time to be like, yo, I'm gonna make the thing that I want to make, and then while I'm making that, I'm gonna put that out to the world. Because right now, like literally, there's so much noise because everything sounds the same. If you actually divert and make your own shit, you actually stand out. You just got to make sure it's packaged right. You just got to make sure it's packaged right. That's the problem. Like a lot of times, people fucking sound ain't right, or they video is fucking low budget in the sense of like they just don't take the time to find somebody or collab with somebody who's an editor. You don't gotta spend mad money. There's so many people online that's trying to like, show their.
They trying to get what they got going on out there too.
Yeah, they trying to build their book the same way. You just gotta spend the time, and then you gotta have someone that sees your product and actually feels your product and want to like invest their creativity into your shit as well. Like, I don't think people do enough research to fucking get that. They'll like find somebody that, oh yeah, this person shoots, but they know inside that person that shoots ain't even really what they want, but because they already shooting, they'll take it, and then they got like a bad, they got something that's lackluster. Like, you should spend that time. Find that photographer. Find that fucking videographer. You know, find a copywriter. If you got a homie that's a fucking publicist, if you got somebody that's a good copywriter.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Yeah. If you got somebody that's a good copywriter, get that person to spend time with you. And then also, like, yo, at the end of the day, if you can't get somebody that want to do it for free because they believe in your shit, yo, put that money together, man.
Put some money down.
Put some money down. If you really believe in your dream, you go spend some bread. Like, a lot of times we trying to cut corners, but if it's your dream, you got to put some bread down. It's your fucking dream. Somebody just said, is it a time or a budget thing? I mean, I'm gonna say something real quick, and then I want you to reply to that. I feel like it's both, man. It's like that time is money shit ain't no bullshit. That's real. But if you have money, it's just like you pay for services. Like, if you go to a bar, you tip somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, you pay for what you want. And then sometimes when you get shit for free, it don't come out the way you want it. You just kind of take it and run with it, and you end up looking crazy. But if you took the time to research, it's just like, all right, so I put the video out today. I shot it by myself. I edited it by myself. But that took years of being like, how can I do this if I didn't have the money to do it? Now, back in the day, I feel like a lot of people were preaching to artists like, well, making artists think that, oh, you shouldn't pay for that. You shouldn't pay for that. And there's like an entitlement thing that artists, like, especially up and coming artists, have, that they think they shouldn't pay for shit. But that's where you end up not reaching anything. Because like you said, it's so easy to find somebody online, even if you got to pay them a little bit of bread. Just you paying for the service. It's not that, like, y'all both want to help each other. Prime example, Motion Family. You familiar with Motion Family? Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
So Motion Family, these are my friends. Like, I went to D1 wedding, whatever. Their first video on MTV was my first video on MTV. Okay. So they shot it for the love. I flew D1 to Philly. He shot some scenes in Philly for me. And then when we came back, they shot some scenes here, and we put the video out. And lo and behold, you know what I'm saying? We both had a video on MTV. And shout out to my homie, Just Dave in here, because I'm pretty sure he helped out with that back in the day. But I say all that to say is, like, if it's a mutually beneficial thing, then y'all could probably work that out. But if you gotta pay somebody, you gotta pay somebody.
And at the end of the day, I'll tell you what one of my mentors said to me. My Director X. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? What he always told me, back in the day when I was doing graphic design, I had a graphic design company with three of my brothers in X's. He had an office in the city. Mm-hmm. And the number one thing that he told me that always stuck with me is like, yo, this is what you need to live by. If you're a person in the creative space and you're doing work or service, it's three things. It's good, fast, cheap, and you can only pick two. That's what you tell the client. If you want it good and fast, it ain't gonna be cheap. If you want it good and cheap, it ain't gonna be fast.
Y'all gotta write that down.
You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
Like, literally, you gotta look at it that way. And I'm like my pops. My pops, from a kid, I always seen that my pops ain't no mechanic, my pops ain't no plumber. But my pops do. Like, if something costs a certain price, my pops find a way to get the bread together and he pays somebody. I won't think about it no more. I paid you what you said. Yeah. So now I expect the work. But when you start paying that game, you start price haggling with people. Now what you see, you're getting in that gray area space where now you're working with somebody on a deficit. So they're looking at you like, damn, you're not even paying me for what I'm worth. I can't really take you serious. And that's something that we play around in this game. If you have a passion for something, whatever your dream is, whatever your thing is, whatever it's time you're taking from somebody, money you're taking from someone, you got to find a way to make it count. Because at the end of the day, that's why when I work with creatives, I really try to have a real conversation with them. I've always tried to be like, I try to meet them in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really try to work with them because I feel like that's what we play ourselves and we set ourselves up at this deficit in this game, in this creative space, in this music space, in all these spaces of trying to build these entrepreneur ventures. And then wonder why the shit is dragging. I'm not saying you got to have a whole bag of money. If you don't have a whole bag of money. No,
you don't.
If you don't got a whole lot of money, it's fine. Then you spend the time to find somebody that'll meet you there. You don't try to meet somebody you don't try to get somebody that's not trying to meet you there and then bring them down, because then you're not going to get the service that you want. People want instant gratification. That I see people do this.
Yeah, people want instant gratification. That's one of the main things, and
I think
that's
people are lazy, bro.
no, that's what I'm saying. So it's like you want Z results without going through the whole alphabet. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I see that shit daily. You know what I mean? It's like one of the things that's funny is like I equate it to this. So people that are verified on Instagram, right? So
Mm-hmm.
when I literally got off a plane and cut my phone on and was like, oh shit, I'm verified. And then here come the DMs. How do I get verified? How do I get verified? How do I get verified? It's like that. They think that getting that is going to be the instant gratification. But in reality, a lot of people don't even know verification is literally just was just for that at a point. Like, so people couldn't fake your page. You know what I'm saying? It ain't to show a status. It's just so, you know what I mean?
It's
But
literally so that you, as doing business as Sean,
yeah.
they'll know
So
that that's
nobody
you.
else can have a fake page or whatever, and they would know who the real is. So the thing is, like, you know, what I'm saying to your point of people being lazy is like all these people DMing me thinking that is going to be the end all be all to them being where they want to be. It's like, yo, if you took all that time hitting up somebody you don't know to get it or to get an answer that probably still ain't gonna help you because it ain't gonna work for you. You can take that time into researching what you actually need. And even if, like you said, you don't have to have a lot of money. I see this all the time. It's like if you want something, if I wanted something and I ain't got the bread for it, I'll ask if they give me a deal. If they don't give me a deal, cool. If they do give me a deal, I know what I'm walking into. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the truth, right?
Yeah.
And it's like every other industry that's out there right now. If you're an artist, right? Because people DM me all the time trying to ask me for price quotes, but it's like, one, I'm super swamped, and sometimes I don't have any like investment in the product that they're trying to like. That's how I go. It's either like I'm a soldier of fortune where it's like the bag is like really crazy and I'm like, all right, I'll fuck with that. Or two, I really like it's a project I'm invested in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's usually where I work from, right? But what I think is a lot of times what people don't understand is you gotta like spend the time. There's a million kids all across this country that are online with their portfolios, and right now they have they have like demo work, like ideas they came up with, like they like, what would I do for a Pepsi ad? What would
They don't
I
have
do?
no outlet.
What would I do for a Nike ad? So they have no real thing in their book. And a lot of times when they're trying to get jobs to work for ad agencies or design companies, the thing that is hindering them is that they don't have any real work from a real client. So if you're somebody that's looking for a creative in the world, you should be looking online for kids that are in school.
Right.
Number one, because there's tons of dope kids in school. Trust me. Like a lot of ad agencies, what they do every spring and every fall is they do a book review. And they do a book review in the fall to.
Oh no. Come on, man. All right, y'all. We're gonna get Felton back in here. Here we go.
I don't know what happened. You just cut me off.
It's back. It's back now.
Okay. No, I'm saying ad agencies, they do book reviews every year where they look at the kids the year before and they review their books. So it'll be like they'll rent out a place and there'll be like a bunch of kids that are in school that year who are like showing all the work they did the time that they were in school.
Yeah.
And what they're doing is they're scouting at the same time as they're doing this book review, right? They're scouting. Yeah. And I would say, like, if you're the person that don't have a lot of money, don't come to somebody like me. I wouldn't come to me. I wouldn't go to like shout out my homie Nasca. Like don't go to them unless you're like don't go to them. Look online, spend the time, try to find some of these kids. If you're a artist that's up and coming, try to find a kid that you could put some dollars in his pocket that might be comparable for him because he's living on campus right now still.
Right.
And don't if you're a big corporation, don't do that because that's foul. Pay them like they weigh. I'm speaking to like if you're somebody that don't really got the bread. If you don't really got the bread, but you can meet somebody happy with some money to take care of them, these people might be like down. They might actually fuck with your vision and ride with you for the journey.
Yeah.
And that person might end up being somebody that's gonna come killing the game in a year. But like that's where I think you should kind of play and like figure out where to meet in the middle. And I see that a lot. And I just be like, yo, yeah, if you can't afford a certain person's level, just spend the time researching that. Because I'm online always looking at work. We look at work all the time because we have a bunch of artists. So next project is gonna have a whole different look. The project after that's gonna have a whole different look. It might have a different so we look all the time. And people DM us all the time. People figure out our emails and send us shit. And I look through that stuff all the time. You know what I'm saying? I look through it all the time. But I feel like people don't really spend the time researching. People don't spend the time researching.
Well, like I said, everybody wants instant gratification. Like, I get hit up a lot about just different things. Like, of course, even posting this, I get DMs like, yo, you know him? Hey, can you ask him this? Can you ask him that? But it's just like, I think people come with what they have, and they don't realize that sometimes what they have ain't really, I guess, how can I put it? It ain't really like, I don't want to say enticing. It just ain't something that, like, you read emails, you look through stuff, but if it ain't jumping out at you, and it ain't something that you can kind of utilize or help what you got going on, you're not gonna bite on it. Just like you said, like a lot of people have these portfolios and books that they get overlooked by companies because they ain't got no real work in. So it's like, if you take that time to get you or build you up some real work, then I guess that'll change the trajectory for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Are there any questions? I see somebody said something.
Yeah.
Do we provide internships? We do.
Yeah.
Let me tell you the email. But it's like it's a lot of submissions. It's like, and we only do like 2 or 3.
That was Mark P. That was Mark P.
Over the summer. We do them right now. We do right now. We have like 3 interns at the moment, and we have them like all the time. We have 2 graduating this year. Shout out to Amani. Shout out to Tiara.
Dope.
We definitely do, and it's a grind. It's a grind, man. I mean, I feel like people need to, you need to spend time. Like right now, I'll be honest. There's so many things I want to do, and I can't land on things. But I jot down everything and I spend the time like thinking about it and like Googling stuff and researching stuff. But people, I think if you really love something that you're doing, spend time investigating like what you want to do before you want to jump out there all of a sudden. Like, people have all these ideas. I want to make a product, and they just want to throw it in the world without like doing the steps. You got to understand, like, major companies will have a product sitting for years.
Yeah, maybe 2.
Doing product research before they put it in the market. I'm not saying you might not have to do that much, but I'm saying give it the respect. Give the product, give whatever your dream is, the respect and the reverence of it to bring it to life.
True. Another question. Ego Melly wants to know, what's your dream project to leave the world with?
Dream project?
Yeah.
Honestly, I do want to work in. Philanthropy is something that like I think about here and there, but I don't know how to tackle it. Right now, I'm a mentor at the Brooklyn Combine here in Brooklyn.
Dope.
And like I feel like I like what we do right now. Like I love what I do from a creative standpoint, working in entertainment. But I feel like the thing that I'm gonna leave myself legacy in the world, like how do we like figure out something for our people, is really where my heart is. I don't know what that is yet. I don't know if it's from a point of education. I don't know if it's from a point of policy. I really don't know what it is. But like I want to leave. When I leave, I want to leave with something that keeps going. Like I used to think about, like, I want to build a rec center that just provides like real monetary scholarships for kids like locally. But
that's one of my dreams, man. That's one of my dreams to do in Philly, bro.
Yeah, like I feel like that's where my heart more so stands now. It's not really about, back in the day, it was like my fucking dream was to do like an album cover. You know what I'm saying? Like literally from when, shout out another mentor. This, what you said earlier, this gonna seem like I'm just dropping names. Like shout out Say Adams. Like
okay,
that dude is like forever in my heart. Like he's the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. Like absolutely, like bar none. And like my dream from when he set me on my path was like, I wanted to do an album cover. You know what I'm saying? I've done multiple now. So like that thought is on the shelf. I always think about what's Cole record where he talked about putting goals on the wall and then taking them down. Like I can't remember what it is right now. I think it was something like that. It's like from the mixtape days. But like that was like a thing that I really wanted to do. Like I absolutely wanted to do. And like when I did Forest Hills Drive, like I remember getting the physical CD, and I didn't know that he also put my name on wax. You know what I'm saying? So that cemented. I'm good. Like I'm forever grateful for that, because that's something that I was like, I want to do that one day, because I collect. If hold on, like if you see like like these are still like albums that I had from like childhood, like, you know what I'm saying, like.
Oh damn, that's what's up, man.
And this is like having them. Like most of my homies from high school stole half of them shits. Fuck y'all. Some of them in the chat right now. I know they took some of them shits.
We just had my guy on here, New Face. He's like a hip hop hoarder and collector. Same type of vibe, but he got like everything you can imagine.
I'm tight. I see B-Dot got that show right now called Artifacts.
Artifacts. Yeah,
I know they ain't gonna call me for that, but I got a couple crazy things that, you know what I'm saying, from the era that I got like tucked. Like I got posted. Word. Shout out my man Joe. We both got like the shout out Joey from Innisco, Joey IE. Everybody knows. Okay. We both got the Forest Hill Drive posters from the tour, but like the Paris joints, so it's in French. He got his shit is already fire on display. I'm waiting till I get, like, when I get my crib, you know, I'm renting. When I buy something, I'm gonna definitely frame my shit, and then it's like, cause like even seeing my poster in another language was like, that was like a win that I didn't even think about. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, things of that.
I mean, to your point, man, I know you were saying you want to get into philanthropy. Well, with your mentoring, I think that, I know you were talking about your brothers had an agency, you know, doing graphic design or whatever, right? Was that, you used to have a...
Yeah. So I had my own, like...
Why don't you ever think about just kind of putting the kids under you in a place to... Because that's one thing, like, we still don't run these agencies. Like, we not at the top of these agencies. That might be where the philanthropy comes in at. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. I mean, it's funny. I was on the phone with my cousin earlier, and she was like, you need to get in a place. You need to start looking into, like, even some way of, like, teaching in a way. And I it's like, I keep it a buck. I wasn't really like a kid that loved school like that. So it's like, I need to, it's true. Maybe I should, like, show, like, you know, the works of it, because it's like, for me, like I had a pretty unorthodox journey into what I do today. You know what I'm saying? Like, my thing wasn't like a straight path. Like I worked in music video. I did a lot of shit, man. I party flies, all different ways to get to where I'm at right now. You know? And
yo, man, I think they're gonna clip us in like 2 minutes, but I just want to give you the opportunity, you know, say whatever you want to say to the people. Let them know what to check out, whatever you're working on, and if they need to get in touch with you about something. I mean, just even to get some more insight on something, what's the best way to reach you?
Oh, absolutely. Well, first and foremost, for everything that I'm working on, look at dreamville.com. And for me, feltonbrown.com. I'm going to update my site. My site is pretty much...
It's clean, though, man. I like your site.
I haven't updated my site since, like, we did Forest Hill Drive Run, which is terrible because I got a lot of work to add. But, like, for everything current that I'm working on, I work for Dreamville. That's my home team. That's my family. So dreamville.com, at Dreamville on Instagram, Dreamville on Twitter. We got a lot of stuff coming out. A lot of shit coming out. You see, we got a lot of artists, and they all cooking. So there'll be a lot of things, even outside of music. We're working on a bunch of ideas. So for anything like that. And then me, it's just at Feltonymous. That's just me on the internet. If you Google my name, my URL comes up and you can find me. But, like, you know, I'm always working, and I'm always thinking, and I'm always up late night watching movies. Like, drop me a line. If you got dope work, I mean, send it. Like, you know, I'm slow to reply back, but if something's crazy, I will find you. Like, people will tell you that. I'll find you, and I'll hit you up. So, you know, piece of that, man, you know?
Man, thank you so much for this. You know, just being a friend first and foremost, man. And thanks for having this talk. And shout out to everybody that checked in here. I seen It's the Real was in here. Dave.
Oh, bros. That's the bros. That's the bros.
Amir was in here. Blame the Label. What up, Blame the Label? That's my guy. It's a little side note. Amir used to manage me back in the day.
Oh, shit.
That's
yeah,
my
man.
dude.
Man, trust me, man. I'm tight that we locked down, man. Because, you know, summertime, I pop in and see you down there, man.
Right.
It's whack as fuck. But as soon as it open up, I'm outside.
Yeah, we definitely. I'm going to reach back out to you, brother, man. Be safe and be healthy, good brother. And thank you so much, man.
Thank you. Peace, everybody. Stay safe. Stay safe. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
Wear your mask.
We gone.
Peace.